I know you're gonna dig this.
Well, for the second for one, and now they got the man trapped in third. And second and 2, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, and he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and the large host, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray Baskerville from Gotta Be More Girl from Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the TREY 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Hear me? I know you're gonna dig this.
I apologize on mute. Hey, this is K Dix coming to you again on a Monday afternoon or Monday evening. It's 6:30. Hey, just remember, just let you guys remember. Next Monday we won't be on this holiday weekend. We believe in family, and actually I'm gonna be in Scranton somewhere. I'm gonna be at this adult water park. Is my plan. Yeah, adult water park, baby. Ooh, splash, splash, splash.
I hope your daughter ain't watching this.
I don't care. But anyway,
I have a question for you though.
Yeah.
How we get a day off on Labor Day? Ain't that the day you're supposed to work? Yeah, never thought about it before.
It's Labor Day because of all the labor that you did over the summertime. Like, you know, how you start. Okay, so this is how Labor Day came about. Labor Day is the time that you start cutting your corn down, your wheat down, your cotton, storing all your foods and your goods for the wintertime that's coming up. So that's where Labor Day came from. Now, but the thing about it, if you really think about it, Labor Day in September really don't really mean a hill of beans, because they did it probably premature. Because if you think about it, in the world right now, where in September is it snowing? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It ain't snowing nowhere. But I guess they was premature about it, because if you really think about it, September has been, I mean, maybe back then September was, if you go back and look at the time frame, and I might have to do that. Let me write a note to myself. Go back 100 years and see see if they can tell me what the temperature was. Temperature was on Labor Day, and see what it was. But I just think it was one of those things that you did. You labored all summer long, planting your corn, and corn's growing, and your cotton growing, your string beans, your greens, your sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, yams, things of that nature. And that they put in in the what they call it, the
Gumbo succotash.
They stored it in not a warehouse, but in their they just call it. And and people got to realize salt was really important back there, because that kept it fresh. Salt kept everything fresh. So I think that's where Labor Day come from. Now you got Labor Day September, you got October, and you got Thanksgiving November. So maybe Thanksgiving should have been a little bit sooner than November, because you think about September to November. What are you doing then? Are you replanting stuff for the spring to pop up? I don't know. You know, when you think about Thanksgiving for real, you think about turkey, you think about corn, you think about sweet potato, pumpkin pie. You think about the whiskey they drank back then, a little bit of wine, corn. What I mean, you know what?
I thought this was for us.
I thought this was for us.
We don't eat no pumpkin pie.
We
We
don't
eat
eat no
sweet
pumpkin
potato
pie.
pie.
We eat sweet potato pie.
Well, I'm saying when you look at pictures, you
This
see
is for
pumpkin.
us.
This is
This
for
is for
us.
us.
This
Don't be
is for
don't be
us.
don't be
Okay.
sugarcoating our show. Don't be sugarcoating this.
Don't be sugarcoating this.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen,
Don't nobody watching this want to eat
Nobody
pumpkin.
watching us want to eat pumpkin.
I don't know why the show is not being shared on the Just Us page, which is crazy because that's where it's supposed to be shared at. It is on the Facebook page. It is on In the Zone page, which is kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe it's there. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just looking. What I did was with my screens. I got screen here, and I got a screen right in front of me. So I got Facebook on both sides because I wanted to see what it looked like with both pages up on Facebook. But on In the Zone is live. I see it. It's doing its thing on Just Us. It says set up a live video. I'm like, I don't know what to do with that. I don't know, man. I can't never get it right. I need some. I'm getting to the point where I think I need experts in everything that we're doing right now. I know we got 2 viewers watching us. Thank you, 2 viewers whoever you are. Give us a shout out. Let us know where you're from. So we can give you a place. You give your city and state a shout out. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, preseason's over with. Dana's not on because he's down in Florida. Make sure you say a prayer for the people in Florida because of the tornadoes or hurricanes or the rain. I really haven't been watching the weather because our news channel went off the air on DirecTV. And WGAL, no point intended. You're not as good as uh, whatever it is we have. Well, and plus we got a family member that's on there too, so that's why we was watching it. But anyway, make sure you guys keep him in prayer. He said he's gonna try to get on here. If he can get on, that's good. If he can't, it is what it is because you got to make that money. You got to make that money. So we're on Facebook today. We're on YouTube and we're on television. And what we do is every last Monday of the month, we on everything. So everybody gets a chance to see us. And if they want to talk to us, they can talk to us and say what they want to say, do what they want to do, and talk what they want to talk. But before we get down to business, we talk about this baseball thing. We had a battle of the bands here over the weekend. I was at work from 8 o'clock in the morning to 3:30 maybe, on my feet walking the football field. We had Lincoln University and we had Wilberforce University. And it just baffled my mind that nobody knew about Wilberforce. And I'm gonna give a big shout out to my man Benny Davis for pulling it off. It was supposed to be 4 bands, but 2 bands were one band was in competition in Texas, which I can understand. Another band was performing for the president or doing something with the president, which I can understand. So it left 2 bands here, Lincoln University and Wilberforce University. Mo, when I tell you that Wilberforce showed up and showed out, yo, they went from the 20 to the 20. That band was jamming, and I felt so proud because that was my university. People like, you went to college? If you knew me, you knew I went to college. If you knew me, you knew why I didn't go back to college, right? I'm like, so some of the alumni, some of the students that was in the band and the band director, I started talking to them. I got me a nice little picture of them, nice little picture with the banner. I was so proud of them, man. They showed up and showed out. My wife was like, yo, we gotta go to a homecoming. I was like, babe, you know that's like 13 hours away. I said, that is not a ride. That's not a ride in the park. I said, we got to ride all the way across Pennsylvania on the turnpike, which I hate. I said, and almost on the end of Ohio, where Wilberforce is, you know, and people like, well, where's that? I said, you ever hear Central State? They said, yeah. I said, well, we're right across the street from Central State. I said, you ever hear Dayton? They said, yeah, we're right down the street from Dayton. It's Xena, you know. So there's a few alumni that went there from Harrisburg, that came that was from Harrisburg that went to Wilberforce, but I'm the only one proud. I'm the only proud one that stepped up and stepped out and said, yo, yeah, that's my color. That's my color. Green and gold. That's what I'm talking about. But man, Mo, it was a good time. We had a good time. We had a good time, man. It was jamming. So let's get right to it. Mo, I know this is the part of the show.
I heard the viewers wanted to skip baseball today.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Oakland A's fans. They said they want to skip baseball.
So did the New York Yankee fans.
Can I take it down?
Just take it off. Take it off.
Take it down. I can take it down now.
0.1%, baby. Still got 0.1% though.
0.1%. You sure?
Mm-hmm.
You want me to leave it up?
You can take it. You can take it.
You sure? I can.
I hope we take it down prematurely. No, just go and take it down.
I'm turning upside down. That's the ultimate disrespect. That's like turning that's like Walt Disney did with the Marine Corps discharge papers. They turned them upside down, totally disrespect. So I'm gonna do that to the Yankees today. But anyway, let's get started. MLB standing for 2023 season. We're in September. This is where the rubber meets the road. Right now in the MLB American League, right now, the Baltimore Orioles standing with the best record in the league. I mean, in the American League. And Atlanta Braves have the best record in the National League. But somebody sniffing around Atlanta Braves. They think they're drinking some what they call it? What they used to call liquor back in the days? What the Indians call it? Fire water. Yeah, I think the Indians call it fire water, right?
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I ain't that old.
It read your history. The Atlanta Braves might be drinking some fire water, or they might be smoking the peace pipe because they think the season is pretty much over, but somebody's coming after them. But anyway, in the American League, you got the Baltimore Orioles with 81-49. They lost one game, they're 73 in the last 10. They have a 99.9% chance of making the playoffs. Tampa Bay Rays are 80-52, 2 games out of first place. They won 2 games in a row, they're 8-2. And last 10 games, they're 99.4% chance of making the playoffs. The New York Yankees are 62-68. 19 games out of first place. Lost 2 in a row, they're 2-8 in the last 10. They are 0.1%. I love it. Mo, I'm sorry that you're a Yankee fan, but I'm loving every minute of it. Loving every minute of it. And the Central Division. See how you trying to go sleep on me, ladies and gentlemen? Central Division. You got the Minnesota Twins who are 68-63. They won 1 game. They're 5-5 the last 10. They have 96.1% chance of making the playoffs. Believe it or not, the Toronto Blue Jays have a better chance of making the playoffs than the Cleveland Guardians. They're 62-69. They're 6 games out of first place. They won 1 game. They're 4-6 in the last 10. Their percentage of making the playoffs, Mo, is 3.5%. Out west, the team that I said was very disappointed to me, and man, they came on. They came on out of nowhere. Yo, the Seattle Mariners, 74-56. First place, ladies and gentlemen. They're 37-28 at home, 37-28 on the road. They won 4 games in a row. They have, they won 3 games in a row. They're 9-1 in the last 10. Their percentage of making the playoffs is 84.3%. Texas Rangers are 73-57. They've lost 1. They're 1-9 in the last 10. Wow. There's 65% chance of making the playoffs. Now get this, Mo. Houston Astros are third place at 74-58. Won 2 games in a row, 4-6 in the last 10. Their percentage to make the playoffs is 85.6% better chance than the Texas Rangers, and I guarantee it's probably because of the schedule that they play. In the National League, you got the Atlanta Braves who are 84-45, 44-22 at home, 40-23 on the road. Lost 1 and 7-3 in the last 10, 99.9% chance to make the playoffs. Philadelphia Phillies are 72-56, 12.5 games out of first place. They won 3 in a row to 7-3. It's 7-3 the last 10, 93.9% chance of making the playoffs, right? And my friend, he brags about them making a wild card. He said, you know what we did? We got one wild card and we went to the World Series. I said, that was last year. Why do you keep bringing up last year? This is a new year. This is a new team. Even though you got Trey Turner from the Dodgers, it still ain't making no better than what it is right now. Marlins is basically out of it. Washington is out of it, and the Mets are out of it. Mo, real quick, Mets keep the manager or no? Yes or no?
I think so because they had so many injuries and it wasn't the manager's fault. It was just bad. It was just bad. They cut so many people. They know that they're not going to give up money on the manager. So they did.
Okay. See, in the Central Division, Milwaukee Brewers are 73-57. They're comfortable 4 games in front of the Chicago Cubs. They won 8 games in a row. They're 8-2 in the last 10. They have a 97.4% chance to make the playoffs. Chicago Cubs, who came out of nowhere, like the Seattle Mariners, second place with 69-61 record, 4 games out of first place. They won 2 games in a row, 7-3 in the last 10. They have 69.3% chance to make the playoffs. And it falls from down there. Cincinnati, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, don't watch out for Cincinnati next year. They're going to be primed and ready to do something with that division because that division was up in the air for the longest time, and Milwaukee just hit a hot streak and won 8 in a row, and that's why they're on top. And again, like they always say, whoever's the hot team,
recorded or transcribed.
Even though they're the hottest, it depends on when you become the hot team in the playoff and the MLB is when it actually comes to fruition that you are the team to be in the playoffs. Pittsburgh and St. Louis is at the bottom with 0.1%. And my friend to William Perry, he brags about the Phillies beating the Cardinals. Mo, if you would look at Philadelphia's schedule right now, after I think about I want to say 2 to 3 weeks ago, I looked at the schedule. I mean, they play everybody about Washington. They play the Mets. They play the Pirates. They play the Cardinals. They play the Rockies. I think they might play the Brewers somewhere down there. But they got bottom feeders all on the schedule, right? So I told him, I said, if you don't win the wild card, then something's wrong with you. You shouldn't even be where you're at. But the thing about it is when you win against bottom feeders, and when you go up to get some real competition, how do you fare? Is the question. How do you fare? Out west, you got the Los Angeles Dodgers with 80-49. They won 1 game to 7-3 in the last 10. They're 99.9% chance of making the playoffs. Arizona Diamondbacks are 69-62. 12 games out of first place. Won 1 game to 8-2 in the last 10. They had 55.6% chance of making the playoffs. San Francisco 67-63, 13 games out of first place. Won 1 game 3-7, had a 46% chance to make the playoffs. The Padres 61-70. They have a 2.7% chance to make the playoffs. Do they keep the skipper in San Diego, Mo?
But black ain't Latino.
So you think they're gonna fire him?
Yeah, they need a Latino manager.
What about Chicago Cubs? You think they keep their manager?
Yeah, because they're paying way above what they should be. 69-61. They probably thought they were going to be bottle feeders.
Who, the Cubs?
Yeah, remember they almost were selling at the All-Star break.
Well, yeah, but look at how much money they spent on free agency.
But they didn't have anything else.
They had the highest payroll in free agency did anybody. They did, and the San Diego Padres did. You know, I'm gonna say this about the Yankees. Yankees stopped spending money and they're losing now. So Mo, do they go back to spending money again and bringing in talent?
Hal Steinbrother is not his father.
So he don't spend that money.
That's the problem.
He ain't spending his money on them Yankees. He's getting people coming to the stadium no matter what. But now that they're losing, we're gonna see how that goes.
Okay. And the Padres were the second spending money, highest paid MLB team too. But something's not right there. When Manny at the last minute signed a contract extension, I felt like something wasn't okay there. You know what I'm saying? So I think there was some issues there. So let's look at the wild card real fast, real quick.
Is that Lou?
So, huh?
Is Lou on?
Yeah, Lou's on. In the wild card, right now, if the playoffs were to start right now, you got you got Tampa Bay Rays, Texas Rangers, and Houston Astros. Yo, that's three teams that could win World Series for real. Anybody disagree with me on that?
Nope, not at all.
Okay. And in Toronto, if they could just start winning again, they'd be right there. They only like 2.5 games out of the Astros spot. In the National League, you got the Philadelphia Phillies, the Cubs, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Giants. None of them teams scare me other than the Phillies, I would say, because they were in the same predicament last year, ended up going to the World Series. And that's why I was not thrilled about how the playoffs are being handled with the wild card teams. I just don't like it. I really don't like it. But it is what it is. All right, so where we at here? Go back to Major League Baseball. So you got the Phillies, the Cubs, and the Arizona Diamondbacks in San Francisco right there in the thick of things. And the weird thing about this is Phillies won 3 in a row, the Cubs won 2 in a row, the Diamondbacks won 1, and San Francisco Giants won 1. And you know, I looked at something yesterday. Let me go back and see if it's still the same. There was a division. It was a division a while ago that like the National League West, when everybody in the division won a game, in American League East, everybody in that division lost a game. I never seen that before, ever before. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's our baseball. Hopefully, your team is in the runnings, and I'm gonna look at. I'm bringing this up because it is what it is, but I don't believe in rankings right now because it just don't I don't know. I just don't it just don't sit well with me. But the complete rankings they got right now by Bleacher what's it BR? What's it called? Bleacher Report. Yeah, Bleacher Report. They got the Dodgers number 1. Yeah. They got the Dodgers number 1 and the Braves number 2. And like I said, the Dodgers like only 4 games out of having the number 1 seed in the playoffs. And then you got Baltimore that's 3rd, Tampa 5th, Seattle 5th, Milwaukee 6th, Houston 7th, Chicago Cubs 8th, Phillies are 9, Arizona Diamondbacks are 10. Minnesota Twins are 11, Texas are 12, Toronto is 13, Cincinnati is 14, Boston Red Sox is 15. So that's your top 15 teams. The bottom feeders, you have Kansas City Royals, Oakland A's, Colorado Rockies, Chicago White Sox, St. Louis Cardinals, Pittsburgh Pirates, New York Mets, Detroit Lions, and coming at 22. Guess who's at 22, Mo? Go, you can say it.
No. You go ahead.
Well, at 21, you got the San Diego Padres.
Mm-hmm.
At 22, you got the New York Yankees. Man, I'm loving this, man. I'm loving this thing. But
we ain't number 30.
But being a Dodger fan, at the beginning of the season, they predict them to be in 3rd, maybe a wild card. They figure they have a losing record. after losing Cody Bellinger, Trey Turner, other Turner. They lost a few good players, but their farm system definitely got them in the running. Only thing I think really hurt them was when Lux got hurt and he messed up his ACL in spring training. I think if you put him in the mix, they're a good team. But this team is special in a way that I've never seen them play before because there's no pressure on them to win anything because they're not supposed to be where they are. So they're just going out playing baseball and having fun. You know what I'm saying? They made some great trades. Still got some issues with the pitching. I think that will show up in the playoffs. In the 7-game series playoff, I don't think they can go 7 games with anybody for real, because of the depth that they don't have at pitching. I think they got to get teams that they got to get them up by 5. They got to win series within 5 games. If it goes to 7, I don't know. You be looking at Clayton Kershaw pitching twice in some games, and I'm not too comfortable on that right now because I think he is probably going to. I think he's probably going to contemplate retiring after this year for being on our IR like he was. Mo, give me your thoughts on the baseball season as a whole right now for you, and what's your thoughts?
It sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks when my Yankees are bad because it hardly ever happens. But what I got to say is the baseball season is getting better. It's good to see teams like the Orioles do well. It's good to see teams like the Yankees bad because it's opposite of what you're used to. So it's good to see the Rays always being competitive, even though they never draw a crowd. It's always best when the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Braves are good because those are the most popular teams. So with the Yankees being down, people who hate baseball are loving it. Hate the Yankees are loving it right now. So it's good for the sport to have one team that's always good at the bottom. But at the same time, somebody else has to step up. It's good to see Seattle because they just had the All-Star game actually surging because a lot of press was on Seattle. So it's good to have them up. But I want to see teams like Cincinnati Reds. They were the team that was hot at the start of the season because they played so many young guys. So I want to see excitement. I want to see young teams like the Reds. I want to see the Orioles, the no-name Orioles. I have no idea. All I know is Adley Rutschman on the Orioles and Cedric Mullins in center field. Have no idea. I know I picked up a pitcher for my fantasy baseball team. I have no idea who the Orioles are. And I live in Baltimore. That tells you something right there. I have no idea who they are because I don't care because I'm a Yankees fan. But it's good to have something like this because we're seeing that any team can actually win. So if the Dodgers or the Braves win, it's not as good. If the Orioles win, nobody saw that coming. So it's a great opportunity.
So, in the area that you live in, is it more a national fan base or is it Oriole fan base?
It's all Orioles. I'm in Baltimore now. I've been Laurel before, which is between halfway between. It was mixed, but now it's all Orioles.
Okay, and I wish the Orioles the best of luck on however they end up going, because you saw a little bit of it last year, but now they're really putting it together. The same with Seattle. I'm trying to figure out what took them so long. You know, like you remember the movie what's the movie where the flower she was like a mob hitter. What's her name? They killed her parents and she came back and was killing them off. She named it the flower. Oh my goodness. Oh
Rose?
man, I can't think of her name. No, it's Calla something.
Cassandra?
I can't think of something. Oh, the fine looking chick. Oh my goodness, can't think of her name right now. She was her family was in the mob basically, and her uncle taught her how to be a hitter, um, just be a straight up killer. And because they killed her family in Puerto Rico or Mexico or whatever, and she came back to came to the United States. Kala, oh my goodness, on my tongue. But she dressed up as a drunk to kill a guy in prison. I can't think of her name right now. But the one detective, they kind of led her to killing everybody. And so she said, so when she finally got to the one detective, and she says, "But it took you so damn long. What was you doing to get me to where I'm at?" And it was so funny because I'm like Seattle Mariners, it took them so long to get to where they're at. I'm trying to figure out what took them so long to start playing good baseball, man. It just, I was looking for this from the beginning of the season with Seattle. But again, it depends on when you get hot, who gets hot, and how you get hot. That makes it a good makes it a good baseball season. So I think what you're seeing right now is you have disappointment in the Yankees, you have disappointment in the Padres, you have disappointment in the Cubs, because the Padres spent the most salary to bring in the big name players, and it didn't pan out. The Yankees didn't bring in the free agents like they usually do, spend the money to be able to compete. The Judge is playing now, but they still can't get over the hump right now because I think it's too far gone right now for the Yankees. But I still don't think the Yankees are our last place team, to be honest with you. I just think they're not that bad of a team. They've just been playing some bad baseball. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how this thing turns out. So Mo, I'm gonna go ahead and do my Black History moment, and then you can come in with yours. All right. So everybody pretty much know who my dude is. This is my dude. Barack Obama Jr., 1961, still alive. Barack Obama was the 44th president of the United States and the first African American to occupy the White House. Obama was born August 4th, 1961, in Honolulu, Hawaii. His father, Barack Obama Sr., was a Kenyan graduate student studying in the United States, and his mother, Stanley Ann Durham, a white American from Wichita, Kansas. Ain't that something? Wichita, Kansas. Now, guys, let's. I'm gonna hold off on talking some more about this, but she from Wichita, Kansas. I wonder what she saw in Barack. What did Barack Savior do to make her wish she wasn't in Kansas no more? Click her heels 3 times, Dorothy. Just think about this. Just think about this. Wichita, Kansas. She probably never in her wild imagination thought that she would be dating a African American male or even marrying one, right? The two were married on February 2nd of 1961 in Maui, Hawaii. Well, and you know what? Hawaii probably pretty much at that time was probably the most international relationship place in the world you probably could go to, because color really didn't matter as long as you had money in Hawaii. Because Hawaii is so expensive. In 1971, he was 10. Obama's mom, who had remarried and was living in Indonesia, sent him to Honolulu, Hawaii, to live with his maternal grandparents, Madeline Stanley Durham, for several years, where he attended Ahani Prestige Preparatory School. Obama was admitted on scholarship for his with the assistance of his grandparents. Obama continued his higher education at Osa Delta College, Los Angeles, California. He later transferred to Columbia University in New York City, New York, and graduated as a bachelor and BA in 1983. He attended law school at Harvard University, receiving his law degree, JD, in 1992. While at Harvard, Obama was president of Harvard Law Review. After relocating to Chicago, he began working as community organizer and later lectured at the University of Chicago Law School in subjects of constitutional law. And in 1989, Obama met Michelle Robinson, who was attorney at Chicago law firm of Sidney and Austin at the time. Obama was a summer intern for the firm that year. 3 years later, in 1992, they were married. Their two daughters, Molly and Natasha Sasha, was born in Chicago in 1999, 2001, respectively. In 1994, Obama was elected to the Illinois State Senate for economically diverse direction of including Hyde Park surrounding the University of Chicago, as well as working class African-American neighborhoods in the heart of Chicago's South Side. Obama remained in the state Senate until 2004. During his tenure in the Illinois State Senate, Obama helped craft legislation to create the state earned income law credit, which reduced the tax bill of working class families by an estimate of $1 million. Obama also supported early educational programs and children of working class families and drafted legislation requiring the videotaping of interrogations and confessions in all capital cases. In 2004, Obama was elected to the United States Senate from Illinois. During his campaign, he gained national prominence as a keynote speaker at the Democrat National Convention in Boston in July 2024. Speech seen by millions of Americans across the nation, combined with overwhelming victory on November over Republican Alan Keyes, catapulted Obama into contentions of possibly Democrat president candidate in 2008. On February 10, my birthday, February 10th, 2007, go ahead, Obama announced his candidacy for president of the United States in Springfield, Illinois. He raised a political campaign and that called the immigration of millions of Americans. On June 3rd, 2008, after all the state primary contests were decided, Obama had secured enough pledged delegates to become the nominee of the Democrat Party. He brought appeal and message of hope, change, and yes, we can change, which has been his battle cry throughout the primary against New York Senator Hillary Rodman Clinton. His principal rivalry of nominations quickly became the central theme of campaigns against Arizona Senator John McCain, the Republican nominee, during the national election. His message continued to energize various segments of America voting public, including millions of a million of first-time voters. Obama was the first candidate in the presidential contest to utilize cell phone technology and internet to prompt his campaign. He also raised more money, approximately $750 million, than any other candidate in the history of American politics. His unprecedented victory refined the electoral map as he carried several key states such as Virginia, Indiana, Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio that has been traditionally Republican strongholds. By the end of election night, Obama had racked up 349 electoral votes to Republican candidate John McCain 159 votes. On January 20th, 2009, Obama became the first term as a president of the United States. That term was marked by one of the most active, successful legislation agenda since President Lyndon B. Johnson's Great Society program of mid-60s. Early in the term, Obama proposed a series of measures eventually enacted by the Congress to respond to economic recession and rapidly crippled the nation beginning in 2008 and led the greatest economy downturn since the Great Depression of 1930. They included the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009 and tax relief, Unemployment Insurance Reauthorization and Job Creation Act of 2010, which was passed to combat unemployment and stimulus economy activities. It's more to go on, but I'm going to leave it at that. Barack Obama, the first black president in 1961 to the present time now, ladies and gentlemen. Real quick, it was something in there that I wanted to touch on real quick. So I know what it was. So when he was running for presidency, I didn't know who devil Obama was. I didn't know. I just know he was. I was like, yo, he's a black guy, but he got a like he got a Pakistani or West African name. I was like, wait a minute, what is going on here? Because I was going to vote for the other guy, the other Democrat that was running against Obama, but then I heard some things about him and it didn't sit well. So what I did, I just went out and did my homework and read up on Obama, and I liked everything he did. And And so that's who I was going to vote for. But to be a senator in Chicago, one of the worst living places in the world, Chicago, where living is probably the hardest thing to do because somebody dies every 9 seconds in Chicago. And to become, to put all those things in place in Chicago means a lot to me. Because if you could do it in Chicago, you could do it anywhere. And he showed that he could do it anywhere else in the world. And I remember I went to Boston for a basketball game because I was getting ready to go back to, I think I was getting ready to go to Iraq the first time. And I ran across a couple that was from London, I believe it was. I think it was from London. And they talked about how impressed they were with Obama and what a great job they think that he will do as president. And they said not only or the United States want him to become president, the world wants him to become president. And you don't find that too often being said about a man when it comes to other countries about who they prefer to be the head man in charge in a country of the United States status. So that made me feel good that they felt that way. And then there's a couple other people were talking about that. So being the first black, it means a lot, man. It does. And I hope it don't take another 25 years to get another one in office. We just got to find the right one that can make the right decisions and do the right things for us. Our vice president, she has a hell of a chance to be the next, be black and be the first woman. And I don't know about you, Mo, I don't know about you, Lou, but I thought that I would have saw a white woman become president before I would see a black man. But I'm gonna say this to you. The United States is cruel. So they would rather see a black man be president than a woman, period. We got some people out here that think that women should be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, washing clothes in the sink with the rocks, with the soap. This is where they think. This is their mind thought. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you got some men and women that think that.
And you're right. You do. And so someday women are showing up and showing out in every form that you could think of. And we will have a woman president one day. You know what I'm saying? We will. I just want her to be.
Other leaders all across the world, I think it's time that the U.S. finally gone up.
Yeah, I agree.
Prime ministers across the world. Why doesn't the U.S. like behind? I think we're a great president.
And I tell you what country I would love to see women be in charge of? Iraq. I would love to see women be in charge of Iraq. They would fix that thing and just like that. They would fix it. You know what I'm saying? You got three tribes in Iraq. Yeah. They can't never get together. One is on one side when the moon is full, and then when the moon goes, they're on the side of somebody else's side. It just don't make sense to me. 3 tribes and they just can't get it. They just can't get along, and it's sad because of the history that in the past, the history that is in that country of how this world was made, and where in the same realm of where our if you believe in Jesus Christ, where he was raised in that area of the world, not saying Iraq, but the significance of him being there. So they just need to get it together. All right, Mo, it's your turn, brother.
It hurt me to do Dave Roberts last week. But this work gets even worse.
Much respect.
You ain't gonna find respect in this one. So my mom has been sick for a while. She's gonna be going home next week. So I honored the thing for her today. I asked her who did she admire. Irvin Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson, born August 14th, 1959. Still alive, even though people say he should have been dead. How in the world he stay alive with HIV so long? He got the cure. Everybody knows. It was for the rich people. It wasn't for nobody else but the rich people. So, Magic Johnson. This hurts me to my heart to do this. Okay. He played at Michigan State.
Yeah.
He and Larry Bird. Yes, I'm gonna put Larry Bird in this as much as I can. And Dana, you better not be listening. I don't want to hear about it next week. Your sister better not tell you either. All right. So he and Larry Bird played in the greatest basketball game ever. The most watched college basketball game ever. Because it was a white dude versus a black dude. And that's what America's always been. It's always been white dude versus black dude. Magic won. Which unfortunately, it made history. Larry Bird had already been drafted the year before, so Magic Johnson got drafted first by the Lakers in 1979, which created the greatest rivalry in professional sports ever. Yeah, I said ever. I can't think of another one that was better. Can you think of another one that's better, K-Dix?
You mean player to player, or you talking about
player versus player?
Player versus player.
Exactly. Because it came in at the same time.
Other than Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain, I can't.
And nobody saw them play. So. All right. So Magic led the Lakers. He was the point guard, probably the best point guard ever. That's what most people say about Magic. He 5-time NBA champion. Larry Bird only won 3. 3-time NBA Finals MVP. 3-time NBA Most Valuable Player from 87. 12-time NBA All-Star. 2-time Game MVP. 9-time First Team. All NBA Second Team. NBA All Rookie Team. 4-time NBA Assist Leader. 2-time NBA Steals Leader. It just goes on and on. The guy had a great career. He and Larry Bird saved the NBA. Best possible outcome the NBA could have had was both of them being. The one thing you got to think about from this, if they didn't come in the league at the time of the league was rampant with drug use. Both of them were clean. Both of them were great. Magic had a smile that everybody loved. White people even loved that. White people didn't love black people too much. But they love Magic. That's why it works so well with Magic. But my spin on this is this. I love what Magic has done. Once he found out about HIV, he stepped away from the game. I didn't even know he had a travel team. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I looked that up. He had a travel team for old players. He used to play with Reggie Diaz. Wow, that's kind of crazy. So he had a travel team because he wanted to stay playing basketball even when he was out of the NBA. Most importantly, once he finally did retire and hung up his basketball shoes, he became one of the most well-known entrepreneurs. With everything that he did to invest in and bring the black community up from where it was. I'm not saying I was out in LA for 2 years. I went to a Magic Johnson. That thing was expensive, but it was nice. It's very nice. So he took his money and invested in all the bad blocks and track bad blocks, the wealth and the areas all around us. So he did everything. He also did everything he could. Other championships for the Lakers. But my favorite part of Magic Johnson was this. Remember this, Dick? That said, I ain't gonna be here. I love that look when he went. That's the best meme ever. When he said, "I ain't gonna be here." When he stepped away from the Lakers, I like the meme. I can never stand the Lakers. That's one team. I don't like purple for the Ravens. If anybody in Philly was purple, I can beat them too. Yeah, I always got to bring in Philly. So, Magic never played in Philly. Because I'd have hated him there. But the one thing you got to think about Magic is everything that he has touched. Another thing we got to talk about with Magic, his son. Was probably one of the first people that everybody gave a hard time for. He has always stood up for his son. Even though his son hasn't said he's always been there, he's always stood up for his son. So I respect Magic for being the man that he is, for being the basketball player that he is, but most importantly, being the dad that supported his son when it was hard to stand up for a gay son. So I really appreciate Magic. And everything led on and everything he's doing. My mom admires him, so I got to admire. Even though I can't stand the Lakers. I admire Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson. You know, I remember when he had announced that he had HIV. And I wrote this letter. I was in Japan. I wrote this letter to him. And I was like, I was so disappointed that I never got nothing back. I just knew I was going to get something back from me because it was sincere from the heart. You know what I'm saying? It broke my, it made me feel bad that, you know, he ended up leaving the game of basketball. And then you got Karl Malone and made a smart comment about him standing beside him and he don't want to get AIDS and things of that nature. You know, I think Magic probably would have stayed a little bit longer if it weren't for comments like that, because you could still, when he in the All-Star game, you could still see he could hoop. You know, he still had that thing in him. That he had that that moxie. Excuse me, he had that moxie in him that made him that great player. So Magic, again, thank you for everything you've done for us. And now he's part owner of the Washington Commanders, which might be changing their name again to Washington, who don't know what their name's going to be. So
they're gonna go back to Washington football. But they're gonna name it W. I'm gonna leave it. Because they're gonna be Washington team football.
They're gonna be Washington TF. What the fudge?
No, I'm saying they're gonna be Washington football. They're gonna be Washington team football.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we got Lou on the line. What's going on, Lou? How you doing today, man?
All right. I mean, I think I'm going to Washington by that.
Thanks for joining us. Hey, since Data can't make it, I'm going to make his picks. Only team that I'm going to pick that may not be my pick this week. And let me see what they're playing. I think they can beat the Chargers. So I'm making Dana's picks for us this week. Mo, you got the list? You want to go over? You want to do the list? You got it in front of you?
Sure. We're gonna do week one.
Yep.
All right. So Lou, be ready to give your analysis as well. So Thursday, since we're not going to be here on September 4th, we are talking about the first week of the season. Opening night. The Lions versus the Chiefs. Who you got, Lou?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Chiefs. Who you got, K-Dix?
I'm going to go with Detroit only because Detroit has a point to prove. Jared Goff played well against them in that one Monday night game when the score was 55-58 or something crazy like that. Kansas City starts off really slow every year. and they pick their momentum up as they go along. So this makes it really intriguing if Detroit wins this game in Kansas City. It makes it even intriguing to say this is two teams we could see in the Super Bowl, especially if Detroit wins. And I'm gonna say it's gonna be a shootout, but I think Detroit wins this thing. I'm going with Detroit Lions.
And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, that we make K-Dix the host, because we can't let him talk this long, because we'll be doing his NFL pickup until 9 o'clock if he talks that long. I was going to say the Lions until you said the Lions. Now I'm saying the Chiefs. All right, I'll start us off with a Sunday 1 p.m. game. The Steelers versus the 49ers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win at home. Who you got, K-Dix?
I got the 49ers.
Okay, hater. Who you got? Who you got, Lou?
49ers.
Y'all both haters. Anyway. All right. So Panthers versus the Falcons. Who you got, Lou?
Wait, say it again.
Panthers versus the Falcons. Falcons at home.
I'll go with the Falcons.
Okay.
Who's the Falcons quarterback? Who's the Falcons quarterback?
Desmond Ridder.
I'm gonna go with Carolina because I think they got a little defense.
I'm also gonna go with Carolina. I think they got a much better defense. All right. So here we go. With those two Ohio teams. We got the Bungles. And we got the Turds. Who you got, K-Dix? The Turds are at home. Who is that supposed to be? Oh, that's a brown helmet.
My Lego.
That's a Lego for the Browns.
I'm going with the Browns.
Okay. Who you got, Lou? I'm gonna go with the Browns. Because the Browns at home, they usually play well at home. And K-Dix will be surprised. I have my fantasy draft. I selected Deshaun Watson and the Browns and I have no Steelers on my team. It's so sad.
But you know what though? A lot of people don't know this, but Cleveland Browns are 1-4 against Joe Burrows.
1-4 or 4?
They have his number. 4-1. They're 4-1. Excuse me.
I was about to say 1-4 is not a good state. All right. Jaguars versus the Colts. Colts at home. I'm taking the Jags. Okay.
I got the Jags.
Okay. All right, Lou.
I'm going with Colts.
Okay, somebody always got to be against each other. All right. Now we go down to Minnesota. The Buccaneers versus Minnesota. Who you got, Lou?
Bucks.
You said the Bucks?
Yeah, I got Minnesota.
Yeah, I got Minnesota on that one. I ain't got the Bucks winning much of anything. Mayfield is their quarterback. All right, next we got the Titans versus the Saints. Give me them Aints at home. Who you got, Lou?
Up on here. I'm gonna go with the Saints at home.
Okay. Who you got, K-Dix?
That's clean sweep.
All right, everybody going with the Saints. All right, now we got Cardinals without Kyler Murray, who's also on my fantasy team, against the Washington Commanders at home. Who you got, K-Dix?
I got Washington.
Okay. Who you got, Lou?
Arizona.
Yeah, I got to go with those Commanders. I don't even know who the quarterback going to be. They don't even know who the quarterback going to be.
Well, I think it's going to be
Josh Dobbs.
Joshua Dobbs, because they cut Colt McCoy.
Yeah, but how you going to bring a quarterback that ain't even been there and start in week one?
Because they got to find a way to. I'm gonna say this: they're gonna tank to get the quarterback from USC. I truly believe that. I truly believe that.
I can see that.
It makes sense.
Them and the Rams. Depending on how the Rams. Well, they got the quarterback from Georgia. He looked pretty decent during the preseason. But he's not Cabe either. He's not Cabe Williams either. So I think it's between those two teams who might just tank, get him a quarterback.
And there he goes again talking all. So Texans versus the Ravens. Ravens at home. Ravens. Lamar still healthy for week one. Who you got, K?
What game was that? What game is that?
Texans and the Ravens.
Oh, I got Baltimore.
Who you got, Lou?
Both the Ravens, nevermore.
All right. So all Ravens.
Both the Ravens, nevermore.
All right. Now here's a 425 matchup. We got the Packers at the Bears. Bears have the line of winning by 2 points. Who you got, Lou?
I hate to give my brother with the Bears fan, but I'm going with the Packers.
All right. Packers for Lou. Who you got, K-Dix?
I got Green Bay.
I got Green Bay too. I think Jordan Love is going to surprise some people.
Yep.
So I just don't trust the Bears. I still think they're just they still 2 years away from being 2 years away. I love whoever said that about him. He's 2 years away from being 2 years away. That is the funniest line I've ever heard.
I used to use that a lot. Yeah, you're 2 years away from being 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 away.
All right. Now we got them Raiders at the Broncos. Who gonna ride? Who gonna ride with the Broncos? Let's ride. Who gonna ride with them? Who you got, K-Dix?
I got Vegas.
Okay, who you got, Lou?
Another tough one here. I think I'm going to go with the Broncos.
Okay. See, I'm going to go with the Broncos. Even though I selected Devontae Adams on my fantasy team. I feel good about that. I still got the Broncos. All right. And here we go. Back for the Super Bowl replay. Not last year's, but previous Super Bowl with Nick Foles. We got the Eagles at the Patriots. I'm taking them Eagles. Who you got, Lou?
Eagles.
Who you got, K?
Clean sweep.
All right. Next one, we got them Dolphins at them Chargers. For Dana's sake, I'm taking them Dolphins. Who you got, Lou?
I have the Chargers. The Dolphins are reckless. They're getting loaded up with injuries. I don't know how they're going to hold up. So I got the both Chargers.
I got the Dolphins for Dana. For the love of Dana, I got the Dolphins.
Exactly. Now we also got the Rams at the Seahawks. Okay, Nick, you can go first because it's your team.
I'm going with the Rams. I just want to say this. Because we got cheated last year, we're coming back for revenge. So I'm going with the Rams. In the last game of the season for Seattle getting the playoffs.
Y'all got cheated?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was watching that game?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know why it mattered. You wanted to lose. You got to get a better draft pick. Anywho, all right, Lou, who you got?
I'm going to go with Seattle.
See, there's two different great Philly cheesesteaks that they talk about in Philly. They talk about Pat's and they talk about Geno's. And Geno's, I don't even think it's called the same way. I just tried to get Philly in here somewhere because I ain't hate on the Eagles. I don't hate on the Eagles. I hate on Philly. So I'm gonna go with them Seahawks because Geno spelled correctly is gonna beat them Rams because they at home. And now the team we all love to hate. We got the Cowboys versus the Giants. I hope the Cowboys go 0-17. I will hope that for anybody else. I hope all the bad things in the world happen to the Cowboy fan. Y'all suck. I'm gonna have a Cowboy fan over my thing, and he ain't staying for that game because they ain't crying. He ain't staying that long. He ain't gonna be here all day. He here all day. He gonna steal his butt. And I'm gonna laugh all night long. Because we beating San Francisco. Who you got, Lou? Cowboys or Giants? Giants at home.
I hate to break it to you, but I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm going with Cowboys.
Oh, you a Cowboys fan? Can you disconnect? I thought you were a Jets fan, Lou.
He likes both teams. See now, it's weird because everybody gets on me about liking both teams, but when Lou said he liked the Jets and the Dolphins, Jets and the Cowboys, nobody said nothing to Lou.
Because the Jets don't count. The Jets been so bad for so long. They don't count. You don't really count it either because the Browns never do good. Y'all expansion team.
I know last time we went to the playoffs, we won.
Oh my God! Here we go. You got one game. You hold on to. I got 6 championships. I hold on to. 6.
When the last? How old were you when you won the last one?
30. 32.
How old are you now?
47. When's the last time y'all won a championship?
I can't find the banner right now, but I think it was in the 60s.
No, you ain't got to go right next far. You ain't got to go right next your championships in Baltimore. You got to. Because they the Baltimore Browns. Anywho, finishing this up. Who you taking, the Cowboys or the Giants?
The Giants.
Good for you. And Lou, I just lost mad respect for you. Okay, last game. Game of the week. Game of the season. The Bills at the Jets. Who you got, K Dix?
I got Buffalo.
All right, who you got, Lou?
Green, yes.
I'm going green too. I'm going Aaron Rodgers throwing 3 touchdowns to Garrett Wilson because I'm gonna need it by that time period. Who always beats me week 1. I'm gonna need 3 touchdowns from Garrett Wilson. So hopefully them Jets win that game. How'd I do, K Dix? How'd I do?
You did good, man.
Mm-hmm. You took too long answer.
You did good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get real hot. Let's get into this topic. So Mo wants to talk about SHOTENI. Where does he go next with the Angels? So Mo, go ahead, take it away. Let's talk about it real quick.
All right. So people that don't know, SHOTENI has an injured UCL. Which usually, if you don't do something about it, leads to Tommy John surgery, which means he might not actually pitch next year. But so Tony said, you know what? Hit. I'm going to hit. So my concern is the Angels are just like, yeah, go ahead, because we ain't bringing you back next year. So I think this is the lead off to him going somewhere else next year. And just playing and just hitting next year instead of actually being a DH. And then 2 years from now, actually. So the question becomes, who will accept him as a DH? Knowing that in a couple of years he'll be able to pitch again. He might be able to pitch next year. But if he does, there's a possibility he might have to get Tommy John surgery. Which also means usually you can't hit because you're injured and you're not supposed to. So who's willing to take that year?
Didn't he get Tommy John surgery before?
I think so when he was younger. But I think that was definitely before he came to MLB. Now, the guy he followed, though, Matt actually played for the Yankees, had a torn UCL and still pitched with it for the rest of his career. Never had Tommy John.
Okay. Because what I have here right here says it's the Angels says Shoteni Otani agent initially refused MRI on injury elbow. It says two-way phenom 2023 MVP favorite Shoteni not only had his season come to a premature early this week due to injury, but another wrinkle has emerged that is bound to raise eyebrows. On Saturday, Angels general manager Perry Massini, I can't see it in blue, revealed that the team offered to conduct an MRI on Tony's arm early this month when troubles first arrived, but he and his agent refused. Massini told Jeffrey Fletcher of eBay Times Otani's camp didn't think the test was necessary. So why you don't think the test? So not taking the MRI and not taking the test and not pitching lets us know there's an issue there. So now does his value? His value definitely comes down, all right? Because if he's not having surgery until off season, the team that picks him up don't know how efficient he's going to be going forward. So again, he won't be able to play either way. If he has surgery, he won't be able to play at all. So I'm gonna call this a Kevin Durant syndrome. You sign for big money as a free agent, and you sit 1 year because you're injured, right? But did that injury continue to become a problem even after you have already had your surgery? Is going to be an issue. So I think that I don't think he goes anywhere now, because if they're not doing MRI right now, he can still bat. They're saying, well, we still can get some use out of him. But is he playing to become the MVP? Is he playing to have a home run record? Is he playing to have the most hits, doubles or triples, whatever? What is driving him to want to play still? Because if I'm a general manager of the Dodgers, I don't know if I go at him as hard as I wanted to last time around, because now I know that there's an injury and he's already had Tommy John surgery. So if anything is wrong with the arm that he pitches with, now his value becomes not a $300 million man, but maybe $150 million man, or maybe $100 million, or maybe $80 million man. And I'm throwing a bunch of incentives into that contract to get him to where he wants to go, because again, he's probably not going to, if he comes to you, he's not going to play that 1 year. He's not going to play a whole year. You know what I'm saying? Because he got to have recovery. And again, if he needs Tommy John, so you're looking at, if Tommy John is the main reason why he can't play, that's fine. But how many players do we know that had Tommy John surgery twice? They came back and performed at the high level that Shoteni has been performing at as a pitcher, right? Not as a hitter, but as a pitcher. You know what I'm saying? So that, to me, is the reason why I think they're playing cat and mouse with this injury with him. But now that if I'm gonna say this, if I was the Angels, I would have said, we're shutting him down pitching wise, so he can concentrate on the home run, getting the most home runs this year, or if or if he can become the MVP. Because we know what he can do is pitching, and be done with that at that. We know that the excuse me, we know that the Angels not making the playoffs. So if we say as fans, they say, okay, he's not pitching no more. We as fans not gonna do we really care that he doesn't pitch no more? We really want to see him hit. We want to see him hit home runs. We want to see him hit triples, doubles, whatever, game winning singles, bloopers, whatever. We want to see him hit the baseball because we have never seen nobody be this consistent as a pitcher and a batter, other than maybe Babe Ruth, who I never saw play. So, Mo, where do you think his value sits at right now?
I think they were trying to hide the injury until the offseason, get him paid, and then actually have him have surgery.
But you got to go through a physical before you sign a contract, right?
True, but at the same time, which party committed all that money unless you Carlos Correa? Ain't nobody gonna buy back out of Shohei, even if it's 1 year. He's still
okay. So this is a risk that he says right here. Masani comments are interesting because he made a point to mention early in the week that no imaging of Otano's arm occurred after the Angels skipped one of the starts due to his arm fatigue. Whether or not tests would have revealed any information that could have prevented Otani from being shut down is for debate. However, the latest revelation is bound to keep chatter going about which side he might be to blame. While Masani fanned the Flames directly or indirectly, Angels manager Phil Nevin tried to extinguish things a little bit. He told Fletcher that it wasn't uncommon for a player to reject the MRI, adding that he said no many times when asked during the playing days. Regardless, it's a terrible situation for all involved. The Angels lose arguably the biggest star, possibly for good. Meanwhile, Otani's career and personal health will likely take a hit. Not only will Otani probably have to walk away from mound for at least a full season, but the uroclateral ligament tear in his right elbow will likely cost him roughly $100 million on open market. Injuries are part of sports, but for the Angels, the time of Otani might haunt them forever. Only time and free agency market will tell the tale. Man, this is deep because now, I mean, he could have been the highest paid baseball player ever, and now he's not even going to be anywhere close to making that type of bread. The Brinks trunk gonna come, but it's not gonna come with the money that he wants to come with, and that's sad because I think the Angels went about it the wrong way. The manager went about the wrong way. I just would have said, look, we shutting him down because we want to see him be a Triple Crown winner or whatever it may be offensively because they're not going anywhere. So why not the bright spot be the offense? Because in all honesty, nobody likes defense no more. Everybody wants to see offense. So would you rather see Otani pitch or would you rather see him hit the ball? Me personally, I want to see him hit the ball. So I think I think a lot of this was let out the bag prematurely, and now it's going to hurt him going forward next year. I think you're going to see a lot of teams back off of him. And if there's a team that get him, they better have a good plan. Because as a fan, you're gonna spend $100 million or maybe $150 million on a player that we're not gonna see play for a full year. Come on now, it doesn't make sense to me, Mo. What's going on? What you thinking?
It's just one of those things, man. It sucks to get injured right now, right before you're about to get paid. Durant got a guarantee contract, full contract. They sure ain't gonna get 500 million. I was thinking 700 before.
I was thinking 700 before.
Yeah, I if he gets 100 million, I would be shocked, to be honest with you, because it's all a guessing game on how he gonna be. And now the thing about it is though, you can't. Okay, I'm gonna say this: if you're a contender, like because I think he's coming to the National League. If you're a contender like the Braves, the Phillies, the Dodgers, teams like that, that might be one pitcher away from maybe doing a dynasty thing, winning like 2 to 3 World Series in a row, you take the chance and you wait. But if you're a bottom feeder or you're right there in the middle, you're not going to take that chance because you're trying to win right now because your team's not built that way. Where you look at the Dodgers, you look at the Phillies, you look at the Braves, the farm system is built to bring in talent and give it time to mature. So if you're looking at from that point of view, he probably has an opportunity to make the money. Now the Dodgers basically they got rid of a lot of cash. If he goes to Dodgers, they gave up a lot of cash money. I mean, saved a lot of cash money for him. So do the Dodgers still in the run for him? They said Boston was the front runner. Can Boston afford to bring him in and not play him for a full year, and the fans be okay with that? That's the question. The Dodgers don't really care, I think, or the Braves don't really care. And let's say the Yankees probably care more if they're in the run is because of how they ended this season. You know what I'm saying? They got to come back strong next year. If they don't come back strong next year, then you're gonna see some heads rolling and Cashman gonna be cashed out. And things of that nature, and they're gonna think twice about why they gave Judge all that money, because history has showed that the guy can't stay injured.
Nah, Boone is gone.
I mean, the guy can't stay healthy.
The thrill is gone away.
It's gone. It's so gone. So so Mo had brought up another thing about Trey Lance. And I'm guys, I'm trying to figure this one out. We jumping all over the place because this is what we're gonna do today. But I don't understand why Dallas and why did San Francisco only take a 7th round draft pick for Trey Lance?
4th round.
I thought they said 7th round.
No, they got a 4th round.
Did they get 1 draft pick or 2?
Just one.
Oh yeah, they suck that. Yo, sucker. So the thing that gets me is they have Sam Darnold as their backup quarterback, and everybody's raving how Sam Darnold could be Sam Darnold could go somewhere and start. He started already places. Now, and the thing about this, okay, you can say, well, he never had the offensive line that San Francisco have. Exactly. But that goes to show you that San Francisco has a good offensive line. It ain't the Jets' fault. I mean, it's not Sam Darnold's fault. The Jets didn't do what they had to do to get them an offensive line to show that he could play behind a great offensive line. I'm not big on Sam Darnold as a starter anyway. I'm not big on him as a quarterback, period. When I seen him play against Ohio State, which I talked about many times before, who plays a pro-style defense, and they showed you how terrible he was, and he still gets drafted in the 1st round, a top 10 pick. I'm saying to myself, what are you looking at that nobody else sees? What are you looking at that we don't see behind closed doors? I just don't see it. And now he got ran out. He got ran out of New York. Then he got ran out of Carolina. Now he's a backup to Brock Purdy or whatever his name is in San Francisco, and he has a great offensive line. So if he does get opportunity to play, he should do well. But the thing about it is, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why Trey Lance could not stay there is because the offense that the San Francisco 49ers run right now is a pro-style offense, is where he sits in the pocket and he throws a football. Trey Lance is a guy that will get the ball in 3 seconds. If ain't nothing open, he's going to run. The offense is going to build. The offense is going to be built like that. And I'm going to say this to you, and just remember this, what I'm saying to you. The Denver Broncos were with John Elway, who couldn't run. I mean, he could run sometimes, but he was not known for running. He would run every now and then. But they did zone blocking, okay? So whoever was in their space, that's who they blocked. It was not the guy that was in front of them, not the guy to the left of them, the guy to the right of them. It was the guy that came into their zone is who they blocked. And that's why they had a great offense with him, right? So San Francisco was going to run that same type of offense with Trey Lance, because if you run it in the zone offense, you run the zone blocking, it doesn't matter what Trey Lance does, because now nobody's in his way in all actuality. Because when you run out the pocket and you're a pocket passing quarterback, you run a pocket, the guy was like, okay, where the devil is he? I'm blocking this guy over here. He ran right into the guy that I'm trying to block. So if you do a zone blocking, Trey Lance can't go wrong. Okay. So what San Francisco basically did was they reinvented the wheel, and now they go back to a pocket passing quarterback, which Sam Darnold is that. My question though is, why in the world does Dallas want him? Okay. And now if you're Dak, you're saying to yourself, okay, what the devil is going on here? Why would they bring this kid in here to play football for the Dallas Cowboys?
Right. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
So Mo, talk to me. What's your thoughts on why you think the trade went down, and why do you think that because there was talk that he might have been going to Pittsburgh. Did you hear that?
We weren't going to take him though. We didn't need him.
But you did hear the talk, right?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Some people tell me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about sometimes. When I say something, they're like, man, you don't know what I'm talking about. I'll say, because I read a lot. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do. This is sport analysts do. We read a lot. So when I read it, I was like, and I was going to talk about it this show, but he ended up getting traded to the Dallas Cowboys. But go ahead, Mo. Give me your take on this situation, man.
I think Dallas just isn't happy with that. In either way, they're showing him that they're not going to stay with him if he doesn't get better. He threw the most interceptions last year. Many quarterback and didn't play all the games. So I think what they're trying to do is make a statement with him saying, "Hey, you got to get better. We just brought somebody in who we know has the pedigree that can be better than you." And I don't think they want to replace Dak, but at the same time, Jerry Jones needs to do something to get a play out of his quarterback. And that was the easiest way to do it, is to bring somebody else in that might actually show him that he needs to get better. I think that's all it was. And San Francisco just needed him to go because they already got Brock Purdy, and they wanted to give Brock the confidence to let him know that he is their quarterback going forward.
Okay, so now I got to ask you a question, and I'm gonna ask Lou the same question. So you think bringing Trey Lance into Dallas puts pressure on Dak to play better? Because there was never any pressure in a backup quarterback, other than last year when what's his name, the quarterback they had, I can't think of his name now. Cowboy.
I always think of Kidna.
Lou, what's the backup quarterback they had?
Red Rocket.
Cooper Rush.
Red Rocket.
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush? Oh, come on.
Rush?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, Cooper Rush was the one. They won all those games for them last year, and it was issues about we should leave Cooper Rush in if we lose against we lose against the Eagles. Cooper Rush is the guy coming in. We want Cooper Rush to be this great guy, and and if Cooper Rush was all that, Trey Lance wouldn't be in Dallas. So I kind of understand. So Lou, give me your thoughts before I make another comment on this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, quarterbacks, I don't think that with this, you make a difference of playing better. I think it's a big mistake here.
So you think Dallas made a mistake by going after Trey Lance?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it might be a big mistake.
Okay. Mo, do you think do you think do you think Trey Lance can play in the NFL?
Yes, I think with the right system.
So if you're Trey Lance's agent, what other team out there would you be looking at?
Tampa Bay.
That makes the most sense.
But the problem is he was traded. It wasn't like he was traded. He was traded.
But I'm gonna tell you why I don't think he's going. I'm gonna tell you why I don't think he would go to Tampa. I don't think the reason why I think that the trade didn't happen with the Tampa Bay because I don't think Mike Evans is gonna stay in Tampa. I think Mike Evans. There's rumors that Mike Evans wants to be traded. He wants to go to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Who doesn't want to play with Mahomes?
So that's why I think the Trey Lance thing didn't go through because to me that makes the most sense in my mind. I really do. Baker has won. Baker is a quarterback by default. Taz played well, but he's not that great. Tampa Bay is going to be in trouble this year offensively. I swear before God, I guarantee you, if Tampa loses 3 games in a row, you're gonna hear. Hey Mo, Brady's coming back. He's working out every day. He's gonna come back. Why?
That's who needs to get Caleb Williams.
He's gonna work. He's working out right now. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody Tom Brady's coming back. He's gonna lead us to the playoffs. You're gonna hear that. I swear you're gonna hear that. I'm telling you, you will hear that. You're gonna hear that. I don't care if he got ownership and whatever. He will get ownership if he can come back and play. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. I really am. But Tampa Bay made the most sense. But like I said, I think the reason why they didn't do it is because they're going to they're probably going to rebuild if Baker Mayfield can't get it done. Gary says that Trey Lance should have went to Seattle. I think that's a great fit for him. I do because he could be he could be a younger version of the dude that was already up there.
Gino.
No.
Russell?
The one that Russell? Yeah, he's a younger version of Russell Wilson.
Totally different.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know because Russell could run if he had to. He never wanted to stay in the pocket. He always wanted to get out of the pocket and throw the football. You know what I'm saying?
Russell has a much better arm than Trey Lance.
Huh?
Russell has a much better arm than Trey Lance.
Well, I'm not saying he don't have a good arm.
Trey is not sure.
But his weapons that he has. Look at the weapons he has up there.
I see him more as like a smaller version of Cam Newton.
Well, yeah. I'm not saying that, but what I mean by Russell Wilson is his feet makes plays as well. He can keep the ball live longer in the backfield, even if he don't run because he had quick feet. So his scrambling ability, I think, would help him develop into a much better quarterback. Geno is not going to do as well as he did last year because now everybody got some really good tape on Geno. So I kind of agree with Cuz on him going to Seattle. But this is what 49 GM Lynch missed. He said he missed defeat in Trey Lance. And I'm gonna say this: if 49ers the 49ers have to win right now, ladies and gentlemen, because they put all the eggs in the basket for Trey Lance. They lost a lot of draft picks, and to get back a 4th round draft pick, I'm sorry, that could not have been, to me, that's not the best deal for him. And then you draft him, then you trade him within the division too. That's is asinine. I'm gonna be honest with you. So it says right here, San Francisco 49 GM Lynch. Hours after trade a former third-round pick overall, Trey Lance to Dallas Cowboys commenced earlier in Friday. San Francisco GM John Lynch admitted a defeat when asked about the situation. Speaking of the 49ers preseason broadcast, Lynch called it a hard day, trade Lance while ultimately realizing that moving him was the right decision. We took a shot and it didn't work out. We own that. We take accountability for that. Lynch said, I think this story is still very much unwritten. I'm excited for Trey. Dallas stepped up and really wanted him. How in the devil did Dallas really step up and want him for a 4th-round draft pick? Who is he think he talking to? Boo Boo the Fool? Come on now. And came after him, and I think it's going to be a great landing spot for him. Lynch backtracked a bit afterwards, saying Lance's failure in San Francisco results from circumstances and injury, and though not fault of the Niners, while that may be true, a player they selected 3rd overall with only 2 years ago will now suit up for another NFL team and an NFC rival at that. Furthermore, sweeping the price paid for Lance under the rug, it wasn't as easy as Lynch and the company aimed to make it. Lynch parted with 3 first-round picks, including one to select Michael Parsons in the 3rd round for to take Lance. The Niners seemingly had hid behind the emergence of Brock Purdy in 22, but now its future quarterback hopes to reside in former Mr. Irrelevant and another former 3rd-round over pick. Sam Darnold now is their third NFL team. How things will work out for Lance in Dallas, or even if Dak Prescott will give an inch, is anyone's guess. However, no matter how much it might hurt for the 49ers parting with Lance, we're probably best of all parts involved. So they moved on for him, they said, because they felt like they owed it to him. Mo?
Yeah, they wanted to give him a chance to reestablish his value somewhere else because they knew he wasn't going to get a chance in there. And they didn't want to pay us $6 million, so that's why they traded him to Dallas. Yeah, Dallas. So Dallas' 4th-round pick wasn't. They should have kept him.
So the dude got hurt last year. He's playing preseason football. An offense that's not built around him is built around Brock Purdy. He looks like doo-doo boo-boo in the preseason, and everybody's questioning his desire to play football. Can he still play in the NFL? And I'm saying to myself, are you an idiot? And I'm talking about some of the pro analysts that said this dude cannot still play in the football, play in the league. First of all, San Francisco was an idiot to get all the draft picks up to bring Trey Lance in. Number one, I would not have done it for Trey Lance. I probably would try to get Trey Lance, but I wouldn't have gave up all that to get him. You know what I'm saying? And now you're giving up on him. So he's going to be motivated to play well. I'm going to say this. If Dak gets hurt and he plays well, Dak can forget that contract extension. And the thing about it is that remember what Father said? Father said, he said, we're going to run the ball more because our offense scores too fast. Who says that as a head coach? Who says that? Somebody please tell me. Kansas City Chiefs. Well, Andy Reid, can you, Andy Reid, say something, please, on my behalf? Andy Reid, say something. I need you to say something because it made no sense at all. And the thing about it is if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan and you're thinking about what the comment was, so let's say that goes out, has a great year, but he don't throw like he threw last year. He throws less interceptions. Now it's contract time. They're going to oh, well, you know, you might have made 76% of your passes, but our running ability was greater than your throwing ability. And this is the hand right on the wall for Dak. So Dak, now we're not giving you 70 million or was it 700 million or something like that? It was like a 700 million contract or something like that. I can't remember what it was. I don't know, man. But they were trying to give him a new contract. Lou, you know how much money Dallas Cowboys trying to give him again?
I didn't count that high, but it's up there.
Okay. But they're gonna say, well, you only threw 21 touchdowns this year. Last year threw 34, 35. And because your inability to be able to throw the football, we're gonna give you 30 million, the contract extension. That's how they do what they do in NFL. They use you up, spit you out, and don't give you nothing. They don't even give you a good enough. They don't even give you a reach around. They're like, we are done with you, right? So now he's outside looking in, and you got Trey Lance right there. To put Trey Lance on the Dallas Cowboys, I think that makes that offense so dangerous. You got CeeDee Lamb, you got Lil Austin from the Rams with you got a great tight end. You got another wide receiver over there. You got all kind of weapons that you can use that allows you to use your feet going forward. So it's a great move for Dallas Cowboys, only giving them a 4th round draft pick. But again, San Francisco gave them a whole lot and got nothing in return. And I guarantee you, if they believe that Sam Darnold is a savior, I'm gonna let them keep on believing that. Because he had to show. I'm from Missouri, damn it. I'm from the show me state. You got to show me better you can tell me. Because that's where I'm at when it comes to Sam Darnold. I'm not impressed with him whatsoever. Any other comments before we step aside and move on?
I mean, as long as it sounds good and goes on the field, you think it'll be okay. Rather than that, I don't know.
This could go down as the worst draft pick in modern day history if this dude goes to Dallas and balls out. And they say he go to Dallas and Dallas don't pay him, he goes somewhere else and ball out. Let's say Trey Lance does end up in Seattle when it's all said and done with. He got to play San Francisco 2 times a year. You know how much motivation that's gonna be for him, Mo? You know that's gonna be a lot of motivation.
Play him twice per year.
Huh?
How are they gonna play him twice per year?
I'm saying if he were to leave Dallas and go to Seattle.
Yeah. That ain't gonna happen though.
So I don't think he stays in Dallas, to be honest with you. I think he wants to go somewhere where he wants to play. And I'm not saying Arizona might not be the place for him because they need a quarterback. I'm not saying the Rams not. I'm just saying I think he could end up back in the division when it's all said and done, ladies and gentlemen. That's my thing. I will talk. It said Jerry Jones didn't inform the head coach or Dak that he was trading for Lance. Do you think that sends a message to Dak and the head coach? Yo. So why is they allowing Jerry to do this nonsense? Man, yo, Mo. So he's saying that Dak or the head coach didn't know nothing about this. So I'm Jerry, and you who you want to be, Dak or the head coach? Which one you want to be?
Don't matter. I'll be the head coach.
McCarthy.
I'll be McCarthy.
Come here. McCarthy, come here. Come here, McCarthy. Look, we don't want to give Dak all this money. Right?
Yeah, I know. You don't want to give me no money either.
I just went out and did something. This is gonna knock your
You
socks
sold the
off.
team?
No. My backup.
We got Cooper Rush.
I got Trey Lance for a 4th round draft pick. Yo, he's gonna be him and Dak's gonna fight for the starting position at some point in time this year. What you think about that? McCarthy, what you gonna say?
So I gotta teach this new.
quarterback
my offense.
My
I expect him
offense.
to be ready to
I
play.
expect him to be ready to play.
So now I got to keep 3
So
quarterbacks.
now I got to keep 3 quarterbacks.
But we only usually keep 2.
We only usually keep 2.
Nah. We don't gotta keep 3. We're gonna get rid of Cooper Rush. Because he's not a winner. Cooper Rush is not a winner. McCarthy, he's not a winner. I know he won some games in a row. But he's not a winner. He's just not a winner, man. And we gotta find a winner. And I think the winner is in Trey Lance, McCarthy.
Yes, Jerry.
Yes, Jerry.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yes, Mr.
Yo.
Yes, Mr.
I wanted that he shared it with his son because his son was supposed to be making all these decisions now. I just, if that's the case, man, that's weird, man. That's weird.
They get, man. They get what they get.
I feel sorry for Philadelphia. I mean, I feel sorry for the Cowboys because
I don't.
In a sense that Dak knows his days is numbered, and you got Trey Lance there as he gonna come in there, and this will be his 3rd year, right? 3rd year, or 3rd year, I think. Oh. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Was it third? Is this the 3rd year, Mo?
Yeah, 3rd year. Yeah, man. Him and Zach Wilson. They did so well in the NFL.
So his next year is when his contract extension come up. So they ain't gonna be able to pay him. They ain't gonna be able to pay Zach. They ain't gonna be able to pay Parsons. All that money they need to pay. Somebody's not gonna get paid.
Lamb.
Oh, they probably gonna franchise Pollard again. He's so quick to jump on that. So this is gonna be really interesting for the Dallas Cowboys, man. All right, let's move on. I wanted to talk about my top 5 international players in the NBA, but Dana's not on, so I can't really talk about that because I know that really gets underneath his skin. So I was hoping to have Rob Lewis come on and talk about track and the Olympics in 2024. I don't know if you saw the track over the weekend. The girls beat Jamaica's in the 4x4, and the boys won the 4x400 relay. But my question I want to bring to Rob's attention is like when we was in high school, the baton was like golden. You never dropped the baton. If you dropped the baton, you couldn't get on the bus. You had to walk behind the bus back to Harrisburg. You know what I'm saying? It was just that sacred. I'm watching these handoffs, and they are terrible, man. And I think they think they're so fast that it don't matter when they get the handoff because they think they're going to catch the person in front of them. And so I wanted to ask Rob, if he felt like the United States could win a gold medal in the Olympics in Paris. It's going to be, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be in Paris, France. The Leaning Tower Pizza. I'm sorry, that's in Italy. I'm sorry.
The Louvre. The Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. The Eiffel Tower in Paris. Yo, that's gonna be a beautiful place to go, man. That is gonna be so beautiful for these young people that probably have never been out to the neighborhood before to get a chance to fly to Paris and then perform for their country. Man, there's no greater feeling than that, man. I'm telling you right now. And them young ladies gonna appreciate that. But my thing is, I'm looking at how the top baton. We would do the baton. We'd be running baton, smack. Maybe man, it hurt your hand. Smack, suck it, duck it, quack, quack. My hand would hurt. Smack. You know what I'm saying? Now they just hand it to them. and then they run. And then I watched them. I watched them beat Jamaica, and the guys were in the lead for the most part in the 4x400. But I don't know. I need to ask Rob. Is the baton, is that not important no more in track? You do not work on the baton handling. Now, grant you, which some people will say is that these, and this is what bothers me with the Olympics too, is because the people that qualify for all this stuff right now, they may not qualify for the Olympics because they have to qualify. It may be somebody that we don't know nothing about that qualifies to run the 100, the 200, the 400, and then you make them your 4x4s. I don't get it. I think if you win this, the World Cup or whatever it is, whatever they did in Bulgaria or Bow Down Mountain, wherever they were at, if you win there, you should automatically that means you should already qualify to go to Olympics. I don't understand this other stuff about pre-qualifying again. It just don't make no sense to me. But I'm just watching I'm watching the handoffs, and that really bothers me because you see it and you say, "Oh my Lord, what is going on with the handoffs?" That's my thing. Look like we got Nick Cook says, "Go Charge." I don't know what charge means, and go Cowboys. Where they going? They're going somewhere. I don't know where they're going.
They always going to the
But
Super
anyway,
Bowl.
Always going to the Super Bowl.
They got a ticket.
But my thing is though, I can't wait till the Olympics come around. And I know the Olympics, it took them. The Olympics is coming quicker now because of the COVID. I think we got Nate or Cook on the line. Is that Nate?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Hey.
So real quick, Nate, let's get some NASCAR in here. Somebody retired is from NASCAR.
Yeah. Let me get his name. Is it
It must not be nobody big, right?
No, it's a pretty big guy. Kurt Busch.
Okay. So and I saw that Bubba.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick also. Kevin Harvick is also now too.
Did I say Bubba Wallace win a race recently?
He didn't win one. Earlier this season, he did get one win earlier this season.
What was Jordan had gave him a shout out for something? You know what it was for?
No, that I don't know.
Okay.
I know Danny Hamlin is our owner of Jordan's team.
Okay. So what's going on?
Jordan has a pretty big buy-in on it.
Okay. So what's going on in that? What's going on in NASCAR right now, man? That is anybody making any noise out there? We down to the playoffs, right? Down to the critical points.
Yeah, the playoffs start in about another month.
Who you got?
Another month and a half.
Who you got winning it all, and who do you think is your dark horse?
Dark horse would be what's that guy? The Ty Larson. Because of Edward and didn't get punished. He's your dark horse.
Okay.
I got 5 points out of that for like 2 years straight because of that crap.
Are you serious? You have not watched any NASCAR?
No, I haven't.
And I could tell. I could tell when I was asking you questions because you're like, any other time you be right on Johnny.
Yeah.
You be Johnny on the spot.
Formula One, I'm all over it.
Ooh. Yeah, people don't know that. Yeah, people don't know nothing about Formula One. They don't have no idea. So,
well, I mean, they have races here in America. So ESPN and watching.
So let me ask you a
You have the
question.
Miami Grand Prix, you have the Texas Grand Prix, and then they're going to do the one in Vegas
So
this
that
year.
so
And they haven't done Vegas in over 30 years.
so Formula One is that becoming the thing in the United States now? Because before it really didn't race right in the United States. It's more European, right?
So they have one race in America. It used to be in Indianapolis Speedway.
Okay.
Then they stopped. It was hiatus until they opened up the track in Austin, Texas.
So are they opening?
I will tell you this.
Go ahead.
If you want to compare NASCAR to Formula One, look off the fan base, right? When you go to a Formula One race, you're gonna have about somewhere between 250,000 to 500,000 people at one venue on a race day. NASCAR, you're lucky if you get 30,000 people.
Well,
Especially with the Daytona 500.
I mean,
I'll give you that.
I don't think any of us really like to drive in a circle. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and NASCAR trying to make some changes too, so they have more road courses and everything else, right? And he's trying to say, hey, we're just as good as the other brands of racing. And I was always engaged in contention, like, they had NASCAR in 20 hours of Le Mans earlier this year, right? They put a NASCAR car in there. And they were comparing it to the GT series. And they're like, man, we're just as fast as them. Actually, we're faster than them. And I said, pause, before you make that decision, or make that comparison, the GT cars can't have anything above 600 horsepower.
Okay.
And they're limited in the amount of aerodynamics on one car. If you were to have that NASCAR car, that Chevy, right, that number 48 Chevy, if they put that with the same odds as like the Ferrari, the Lamborghini, the Porsche, and even the Corvette, they would have gotten burned.
Hey, so,
because they can't handle it. The car's too heavy.
Curry,
they have to have over 750 horsepower.
Curry Young said, "I will keep my eye on Martin Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin because of Joe Gibbs."
Yes, yeah, I've heard they're really pretty strong this year.
So let me ask you.
I'll also Chase Elliott in there too.
So let me ask you a question. So with Formula One being really big in the United States right now, do you see other states getting involved in this and making tracks for Formula One?
So I think it just depends on how big it does. Formula One goes out big venues, right?
Uh-huh.
So you have Miami, where they race over by the stadium where the Dolphins play, right?
Okay.
That's where they race, right? So you got that complex there. You have Austin, Texas. They literally built that track for Formula One. That's a pure-bred Formula One track. Vegas, they should be finishing touches of the Formula One track over there. If it does go over there, I heard they're supposed to be going to New York.
That was my next question.
Which means they're going to be racing in New Jersey.
That was going to be my next question. It was, do you think New York could probably get a track built in New York somewhere?
It's going to be a street course. It'll be a street course, like Vegas. But now here's the thing: you cannot race in Manhattan. It's not going to work because the roads are too messed up. So you can go across the river to New Jersey and race just fine. In fact, that was supposed to happen, and it was something with like the taxes in New Jersey. And the governor of Texas says, hey, he won't charge you taxes. You have to build a track over here.
Wow.
And so they said, done, and that's why they did that. So, and I heard the other one is based in Los Angeles also. That's just talk right now. So we'll see what happens.
So NASCAR is getting really big in the United States. I like Formula One. I like Formula One better than NASCAR anyway because of the gear shifting that you gotta do and the eye spying that you got to do as a driver to get past another driver, to get in front of that driver, get behind the driver, whatever. It's all about maneuvering and understanding how to drive and understanding the person you're driving against. And I like to tell my daughters all the time. I said when she's on the highway, I said, you got 5 lanes. You got to pay attention to every lane you're in because you know where you are. You just don't know where everybody else is. So you got to pay attention to everything around you. I said, and it's hard sometimes if you're not really paying attention, So I'm kudos to Formula One, man. I'm loving that. I'm loving that. They need to bring that to Pennsylvania. They can come to Harrisburg too, and they can ride through our city. I mean, we got a couple of streets that ain't that bad, but we got we getting to the new, we're right now, it's 2023. We're probably right around 2018 right now. We got roundabouts now, and we got the streets look like colonial streets and things of that nature. I mean, I'm just trying to put some money in the city's pocket. They need to bring something here. You know what I'm saying? They got a nice riverfront. Man, they got to figure something out. So, but
you can make it make sense to the Formula One president.
I can make it make sense.
And show how they can make billions of dollars. They'll do it.
I'll try. The only thing I do is the only thing I do is sell turkey. I can sell snow. I can sell snow to a penguin. Hey.
I'll give you a crazy stat. You ready?
Yep.
So you know how much money the NFL made during last year's Super Bowl, right?
Right.
So every race that Formula One does produces that plus $5 billion.
Wow. That's incredible.
And there's 23 races around the world. Give you guys perspective of what kind of juggernaut this thing is. And that's still not as much money as the soccer leagues in Europe.
Yeah. That. I mean, the United States is definitely behind in soccer. They're just not there yet. Hey, so real quick, getting back to some football. What's your thoughts on Trey Lance coming to Dallas?
I can think long and hard about it. I don't think he's a total threat to Dak Prescott as of yet. I think Cooper Rush is more of a threat to Dak Prescott than Trey Lance.
Okay.
Trey Lance hasn't been able to prove himself on the field yet.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I think they're going to just kind of, build him up so that when it's time for Dak to make his exit, he'll be ready.
Let me ask you a question. Do you see
But
Dak?
I don't think it's going to be a force out.
Do you see Dak Prescott maybe playing for somebody else?
Yeah, if they don't give him a contract extension yet.
Okay.
He's good enough.
Okay.
He's a good quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback, but he's a good quarterback.
Okay. All right.
So, and I don't think that Dallas is going to release him, especially if they have a good year this year.
Right, and that's what all.
And when I say good year, that means you have to make it to the division championship. You don't have to win it; you just have to get there.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. I think that's the case with him. They definitely have to get somewhere they've never been before, and for them to keep Dak around. We're gonna talk about some basketball real quick if you want to stick and stay.
Yeah.
Mo.
Yeah, of course.
So JJ Redick and Dennis Rodman. Okay. I don't understand Dennis Rodman because he played with Larry Bird. But I don't understand JJ Redick talking about Larry Bird. So And I'm gonna go a step further here. Like you said to me, who do you think was the greatest rivalry? One of the greatest rivalries in sports. And I said I would say Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain. And I'm gonna say that because of the history that they made and the battles that they played. But I never seen them play live. And I'm gonna say this: when Mad Dog, what's his name? That has a radio show. He sometimes on
Mad Dog
Mad Dog
2020.
Russo.
Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that Mad Dog 2020 something else. I remember.
They all crazy.
When
They all crazy.
I remember my cousin got me drunk on some Mad Dog 2020. I was a little kid. I was about maybe 15 years old, 13, 14 years old.
Better
and
than
we went out.
Better than both.
And we were supposed to go to the movie. We were supposed to go to bowling, and we ride right past the bowling alley. I was mad because I really wanted to go bowling. We go to a party, and we drink that Mad Dog 2020. He said, I need to drink this. I drunk something. He said, now I know you ain't gonna tell me, right? So when we get back to the house, I'm tipsy, right? I go and lay down. My cousin stays up, runs his mouth, and my uncle smells alcoholic breath and tears his behind up. I said, yeah, I may be drunk, but I'm a smart drunk. I'm going to bed. And I remember that's the first time I drunk. That's the first time I ever drunk Mad Dog 2020. I ain't never touched it since. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, he says the disrespect that they have for the players in the past is that they never seen them play live. And when you watch the games, you don't get the same effect of you playing with them. That's the part I have to totally agree with, because when you watch the Celtics play the Lakers or Philadelphia back in the day with Bill Russell, you don't really see the pressure that's put on these guys to perform at a higher level. You see it now because you're live at, but they said that Bird couldn't play in the league today. Dominic Wilkins said, "Are you delusional?"
I didn't think they said. I didn't think he didn't say he can play now. I think he just said he wasn't one of the best
3-point shooters.
No, he says. Dominic Wilkins says Dennis Rodman is delusional and JJ Redick is stupid for their comments about Larry Bird.
Yeah, Rodman did say Larry Bird can play. JJ said that Bird wasn't a great 3-point.
And again,
are we saying that fine Larry Bird can play in today's league?
You know what? And I'm gonna say this. As soft as the league is right now, everybody can play in this league. Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Dana,
Dr. J.
Dana.
Can you imagine Elgin Baylor, Jerry West? You know what I'm saying? Those guys that played. Remember what's the George Mike?
Nervous would be a guy.
Oh my God, he would Bob Cousy, the way they handled the basketball. Those guys could definitely play in the league right now because they don't play no defense. The only time they play defense is the last 2 minutes of every quarter. You shoot the ball, you shoot the three so many times, it don't make any sense. It's more analytics than it is playing the game of basketball, which I really pisses me off to do that to the game I love. But for them to make that comment, it doesn't make any sense to me, because there's gonna come a time somebody gonna say, Dennis Rodman couldn't play in this league now. And let's be honest, Dennis Rodman and let's be honest. Larry Bird played in the league when the league was about to fall to the floor. Only thing you knew about the NBA was guys they smoke weed and sniff coke. That's all they knew.
And games were on tape
delay. Yeah, all the games are on tape delay. You know what I'm saying? But he came into a time. He said him and Magic Johnson saved the league. To be perfectly honest with you, they saved it. But to sit there and say that he couldn't play in the league right now, and Bird's IQ was off the chart. Not that I'm a Celtic fan, but watching him play basketball and the sacrifice he made with his body, that cost him anywhere from 2 to 5 years of playing in the NBA, longer because of him, the way he played basketball, the way he dove on the floor for the basketball. He loved the game of basketball. But you know, Larry Bird don't say nothing about it. He lets everybody else talk for him. Dominic Wilkins said, "You're delusional and you're stupid." Making a comment like that. JJ Redick ain't won nothing, as Bernie Mac say, nothing. But you comment on everything.
Nothing.
And Mad Dog Russo said that he said you don't respect the game because you didn't see the game being played live. And that's the whole thing that we don't, as fans, we don't understand. That's why Bill Russell don't get the respect that he should get. Because if you look back at the time that Bill Russell played, the average height was 6'7" across the board, right? And these guys didn't play basketball all year long. They had to go get a job. And they smoked at halftime, they drunk beer at halftime, and they came out still busting butt. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have all the amenities that we have right now. Look at what Magic. Look at LeBron James. Look at how much money he spends on his body to stay in shape. If them guys could do the same thing, they would be just as good as LeBron James is, or maybe even better. But I don't. But my thing, I'm so sick and tired of these players dissing these players in the past. You know, not that I'm a Celtics fan, but Bill Russell sacrificed offense for defense. This man went. Yeah, let's think about this, guys. He won a national championship, got on the boat to France, and won an Olympic gold medal, then turned around and came in the NBA and won a title. So who does that? Who name me one professional athlete, basketball player that did that? But you're gonna tell me he's not a great basketball player? But he could have played in this league right now. I don't get it. I think that they need to stop comparing.
I'll put it like this, Kevin.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Everybody from the past, I would say, the Bill Russell era, the Kareem Abdul era, the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson era, going all the way up to about I'll say about Shaq and Kobe era, and playing today's NBA. So all the starters that we have right now probably wouldn't even make a damn team.
And you know why though? Because they don't have the basketball IQ that these players had.
Yeah.
Look at what Magic did. Yeah, look what Magic did. These guys came in the league and they could shoot. Now, granted, Magic worked on his jump shot. He didn't come to the league with a jump shot because he could get to the basket. But once they figured out how to stop him from getting the basket, he had to learn how to shoot the ball. You know, but you got Leonard, you got Jamal Wilkes on the team. You got Bob McAdoo. You got Michael Cooper, who got dunked on, the greatest dunker ever. I don't care what nobody say. The greatest dunker ever, all time. When Dr. J went all the way back down to 3rd Street South and 3rd Broadway in Philly and dunked on him. And ever since that, Michael Cooper's eyes been red ever since. I don't care what nobody say. Greatest dunk of all time. And I'm not a Sixers fan, but I respect his game. You know, and so those guys back then could play right now because the game is not as physical as it was back then. You have a few guys right now, like LeBron. He could play back then.
Yeah.
He could play, but he would have been on the sidelines because he'd have been crying all the time.
I don't think Steph could have played back then because they could handshake. I put microwave on him. Put the microwave or Joe Dumars on him and let's see him lock him down. And the thing about this, now he does got basketball. He has handles for basketball skills. But if we're picking you up at half court, you ain't shooting that. We ain't giving you that shot. And I'm not taking nothing away from Steph Curry. I think he's one of the greatest shooters that ever walked the earth, right? But let's look Let's look what he's done to the NBA now.
He will be a player. He will be a starter.
Every time I go to Park, Mo, Nader, Lou,
dropping a triple double.
I see 3-year-old kids trying to shoot 3-point shots.
Yeah.
And the boy ain't getting nowhere close to the rim. None. I see some teenagers.
Hey, everybody trying to be hard. Ain't nobody trying to be D-Wade.
They just.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. All I'm saying is this. Ron has been able to be down the league. Get on the team will be a next player. They play when there's only like 40 seconds left in the game and the game's over.
But you know what gets me though right now is they come out with he's one of the best two-way players. You're supposed to be a two-way player. You play offense, you play defense. You're supposed to be a two-way. Why they make it seem like that's a unique thing to do? They've been doing it. Basketball, that's been basketball's MO for forever. So don't come to me and say
he's a participation trophy.
Yeah. He's the best two-way. He's the best two-way player ever, man. I'm telling you right now. Look at his game stepped up. He can shoot and he can play defense. That's part of your game. That's part of your game. Allen Iverson would eat these dudes alive right now with his tenacity. Isaiah Thomas would twist them around. He would dribble. Yo, I'm telling you.
They would have never made an MVP team from back in the day.
And speaking of Olympics, so the question was asked: the team they have right now in FIBA, do you think they could be in the NBA teams?
Probably.
Mo, what you think?
I think so because they have a lot of young players that have an opportunity. So any given day.
I was trying to find some stats on them. I couldn't find nothing because I wanted to talk about that, but I just couldn't find the information I wanted. But the question was asked, and don't be surprised if you see it on SportsCenter because they're always taking my damn information and twisting it around and make it seem like they came up with the answer first. But it just astonishes me, man, that they come out and make these comments about these basketball players and they don't know and tell me sit and tell me.
And they even watch any film.
Exactly.
You don't watch film. It's not like you can't find film of these guys playing. It's out there.
Right. Hey, I'm gonna let you. Right? I want you guys. I want you guys. This is near and dear to me right now. About I don't know if you heard Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame speech, right? And he gave a shout out to his dad. In most speeches, it's mom, grandma, auntie M, big mama, little mama, step mama, but never the dad that has a significant role in somebody's life. So I want you guys to listen to this right here because I tell you what, when I heard it, it put tears. I had tears in my eyes. So check this out, guys. Let me go back.
You could save hundreds a year on groceries at Aldi. No coupons or sales required.
Okay, here we go, guys.
Pops, would you please stand? I started this off thanking you, and I want to end it the same way. I owe you a debt of gratitude that I'll never be able to repay. When I would cry and say, I can't, you made me go harder. You pushed me to limits that I didn't know were inside of me. The hard work I put in was because I didn't want to let you down. Those countless hours in the backyard, we would compete against each other like strangers. It built me to last. Those days that turned into late nights of me working on my left hand, so it was just as good as my right, it made me an unstoppable force. That time you got kicked out of the game as my coach and snuck back in the side door and coached me from the stands just to get kicked out again, it showed me that there was no limitations on how you would show up for me. It's the exact same way I try to show up for my kids. So even though I hated being called Little Dwayne, I admired you as a kid. I admire you now. We had the same exact dream, and we carry the same exact name, Dwayne Tyrone Wade. To know we hustle all the way to the Basketball Hall of Fame is God's will. So, Pops, I know your knees are a little sore, but will you join me on stage as we take our rightful step into basketball heaven? This one right here, this one is for my father. I love you, and I'm thankful for you.
I love you too, man.
We're in the Hall of Fame, dog.
So you never don't hear that from. It's always my mom, and I'm not taking nothing away from mom, but his dad was a significant part of his life, man, and that touched me because you never really hear that a lot from men about their fathers, how much they was a part of their lives, how much his dad meant to him. You know what I'm saying? And that really says something to the point where, you know, he just expressed his feelings about his father, man. And I think we all can relate to that when it comes to our fathers. Just sometimes that we are men don't want to show our sensitive side to us. But again, that was incredible, man. And if you didn't get a chance, if you never got a chance to listen to his speech, man, please go back and check it out. It is so tear jerking, man, and it just hits you right in that soft spot in the pit of your stomach about where he came from to where he is now, and the accomplishments that he made. And he thanked his father for all of that, man. That's so incredible, guys. I just want you guys to listen to that and hear that, and just think about that with your dad. You know what I'm saying? I know, like the conversation I had with my father. The one conversation I had with my father that was real was when I was in the military, and I said to my dad, I said, you know, I'm thinking about getting out. I said, my body's tired, my knees hurt, my back hurt. I said, I'm getting tired of dealing with these people. I said, don't seem like I can never do anything right in their eyes. My father said to me, he said, man, listen, you know already fought the fight. The only thing you're doing now is just circling around and regrouping and getting all your wounded ready to go back home. He said, don't let them see you sweat. He said, you got 2 more years left.
Right.
He said, you can do these 2 years standing on your head. And I said to my dad, thank you. And when I retired, he was the first person I called. And I said to him, I said, Dad, I did it. You know, and that gave me so much pleasure And my father telling me that, and he said to me, he said, son, he said, you did something I couldn't do. He said, I wish I would have did it. He said, but you fought a good fight in the military. He said, now you time for you to retire. You know what I'm saying? So if you get a chance to just talk to your father and just sit down and have a conversation with him about life in general, man, it means a lot to you, and it probably means a lot to him, because as men, we don't show that side of ourselves, the sentimental side that we're not used to seeing that, you know. And I'm completely different than that, because my kids have seen me cry, they see me laugh, they see me sad, they see me mad, because I just want to let them know I'm a human being. Before I'm a man, I want to let them know I'm a human being. You know what I'm saying? So we got about 5 minutes left. Anybody got anything else they want to holler at, talk about before we get off? So I'm looking here. Keith said Trey Lance. See what he said? Let me post this right here. He said Trey Lance is a developmental project. He has an opportunity to sit behind Prescott and settle into a player he destined to become. He has a cap hit of 940,000 this year and 1.5 million next. So the question to you, Keith, is this right here. Do you think he stays in Dallas because Dallas trade for him? Because he's going to become a free agent. And do you think that if he gets an opportunity to play in Dallas, do you think he stays? Or do you think he goes somewhere else and plays, because that's not where he really wanted to be? But when teams trade for you, that lets you know they want you to be there. They want you to be there. Mo, what's your thoughts on that right there? What Keith said.
I get it. They showed interest. They want to bring him in. They want to see what he has. So they're giving him a chance where he didn't have a chance in San Francisco. Still think he had a better chance other places, but hey, you always want to go where you want it. So that's what's important to most people.
Sorry. So you look at what it says right here. If Dak Prescott doesn't come through, Dallas has a potential out on 2024, a 3-year, $126 million, and then he has a dead cap of $61 million. They can move on. So Dallas is probably in the win-win situation when it comes in. So maybe this was a great move for Trey Lance, even though we all think that he should have went to Tampa. There's a couple other places I felt like he could have went to. He said Dallas also controls his 5th-year player option, so they have him for 3 years at a minimal cost. It's a win. It's easily low risk, high reward. I agree with you on that, Keith. It definitely is. It definitely is a high risk. Let me see what else he said. Tam didn't want him.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah. The key word in key statement, project. That's where San Francisco messed up. You don't draft a developmental project at 3 overall. So let me ask you guys a question though. Do you think he was a project because he got hurt, or do you think he was going to be a starter last year if he didn't get hurt? He had no control where he went. That's true. He didn't have control of where he went. I think that they gave him an opportunity, I think if he said to them, I want to go somewhere where I can be a starter, I think they would have accommodated him. Him going to Dallas, I think that's gonna bite them in the behind if he stays and he plays well. Mo?
I don't think it really mattered where he went. I think he just wanted to change the scenery. He knew he couldn't control it. They were trying to get the best pick that they could. That's all that mattered. So Keith is right. He had no control over where he went.
Right, but they did say that they were trying when they said about him trading them, they's like, well, we did talk about trading him, and he said I think Shanahan wanted Mac Jones, and not. You know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right on that one. I totally agree with you on that. I totally agree on that. I totally agree. And as we can see, Mac Jones right now ain't doing diddly squat up in New England. We don't even know if he's gonna be starting quarterback at the end of the season. He just ain't making it happen for them guys. I totally agree with you on that, Young. I think the same thing. Hey guys, we got to go. It's 9 o'clock, and we're done with having fun. Remember, next week we won't be on, but the following week we'll be back on from 6 to 8. There's some Mondays I won't be on because I do the scoreboard for our high school JVs and freshman team. So I'll post some information out there when our shows will be. Hopefully we'll get Devin back. Get Dana back on it. Exactly. You don't draft a guy that high with what they gave up and not be patient. I would think he would got more patience because of the potential upside. He hadn't played a lot of football. I totally agree. I think we all agree on that one right there. I think they pulled the gun too fast. I really do. But then if you change your offense with Trey Lance, if you trade your offense to Brock Purdy, we know that's not. We saw what it is during the preseason with him, that it didn't really work out for him. So that's a big issue right there, I think. Appreciate you guys coming in pretty much on the back end, but it was good talking to you guys. Appreciate the comments. It was really good. Purdy was even cheaper. And he balled out. Yeah. Let me ask you guys a quick question for real. If Purdy doesn't get hurt against the Eagles, you think 49ers win that game? Mo, what's your thoughts on that?
Unfortunately, yes.
They were balling.
He hadn't lost a game.
Well, they do have money, and they have some. The 49ers do have some money, but they don't have no draft picks. And the thing about it is, the way they're looking right now, they're probably going to be able to bring in some high talented teams to keep them competitive. I think you might see them spend money like no other, like the Rams did to win a Super Bowl. And then your boy Lynch can walk away with a head held high, because if this thing don't work out, he is going to be killed for this.
Right.
All right, guys, it's 9:02. We gotta let y'all guys go. Any comments, Mo, Lou, before we get out of here?
The Steelers.
No, I'm good. The Steelers.
Where they going?
Somewhere the Browns ain't going to the playoff.
Yeah, okay. Deshaun Watson said, I got something for you. Now I'm gonna tell you what hurt us is the punt returner got hurt. That killed us right there. That dude ain't been healthy for 5 years. That was brutal. We'll see. Being hurt and being healthy is two different things, because if you hurt, you can still play. If you're injured, you can't. That's the difference. It's a difference.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the In the Zone Sports Talk Show Network, LLC, where you can find the best in sports talk television and radio shows. Mondays, check out the Just Us Sports Talk Show from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your hosts, Kevin L. Dixon and Dana Clark. Then Tuesday, we have the Stars Talking Cowboys Sports Show from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern with your hosts, Sean Fox,
Boogie and Cowboys Nikki. And on Wednesday, tune in for the Out the Block Sports Talk Show from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with hosts Robert Lewis, Donna Hainsworth, and Brett Shields. Then meet up with us on Saturday for the Enhanced Sports Talk Show from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern with hosts Lou Tenor and Steve Davidson. We also had the DMV Sports Talk Show from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern with your host, Razul McGee. As well, we have the Shamrock Sports Talk Show from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern with Igor Mitic and Andy Vernon. Finally, rounding out the week, we have on Sunday, That's Not How We See It Sports Talk Show from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern with your hosts, Alfred Wallace, Tony Wallace, and Harold Robinson III. These shows come to you by way of the In the Zone Sports Talk Show Network LLC. Be sure to download the TREY 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K. Dix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big-time players make big-time plays and big-time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the TREY 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk